everyone, how's it going? So today I'm going to be making a video all about the dreaded UK CAT. So I am going to be taking the exam again this year, and I wanted to come on here and make a video talking to you about how I've been practicing, what kind of resources I've been using, and also most importantly tell you my experience from last year. Because if some of you have been following my Medicine Diary series even from last year, you would know that I did do the test last year, but I feel like there was a lot of mistakes I made and there were a lot of things that I'm trying to do differently this year that I want to talk to you about, because I would really sleep better at night knowing that you guys don't make some of the mistakes that I did. Because personally I feel like they hindered me a lot, so I don't want any of you guys to go through that either. Or as well, I should say. Because I have to say guys, last year I did not do well. I'm gonna put this down. So last year I did not do well, and there were a lot of things that I kind of just put to the side and not really paid attention to, even though people told me, and I didn't listen. So I guess let's just rewind a little bit back to last year and I can tell you a bit more about that, and then we can fast forward to the present so I can tell you what are some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that I'm doing differently this year. So I have to put my hands up here and say that last year I pretty much did no practice. The only practice that I did for the majority of my time before my exam was, you know, a bunch of questions from this book, and firstly I didn't time any of them, and secondly this book has a lot of content that is much harder than what you find in the exam. So, you know, I said to myself, well, you know, forget about the time. I'm gonna spend like half an hour on like 2 questions, it's fine. I'm just gonna do it so it will like help me understand. And I think that was definitely the first mistake. And as well as that, like I said, the quantity of revision or practice I did was absolute minimal. Like I would spend maybe like half an hour on like 2 to 3 questions and then spend 45 minutes after that complaining about the exam. And then it seemed like I've been revising or like practicing for a really long time, when in actuality I was kind of reading a question and then kind of being like, oh god, UK CAT, like, oh, why do we have to do this? And that is not the good attitude to kind of go into this exam with, although believe you me, it is a common attitude based on what most people have said to me who have already taken this exam. I would say around maybe 2 weeks or so, yeah, around 2 weeks before my actual exam was due last year, I kind of had a panic and I realized that, oh my god, I'm not ready, I'm just going to get the cram package from Medify. Now Medify is a really helpful website where there's a whole bank of questions and you can time yourself and you can kind of get feedback, and it's really useful. But I got this a little bit too late. And the worst thing was, as I said, because I hadn't have done any timed questions prior to that, I'd just been kind of flicking through this like occasionally. When I did my first couple of timed questions, I did so badly that I kind of just thought, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to do anything anyway, you know, like you can't even practice for the UK CAT, so I'm just going to go in there and do my best and kind of just hope that things will work out. So I think this was definitely the wrong approach of kind of sticking my head in the sand and thinking, well, you know, I don't need to do anything, because I was just too, I guess, uncomfortable and embarrassed about the idea of having to admit that I'm just not ready and it's my fault because I haven't put the time in. Oh, and may I add, the actual exam itself, I like postponed 3 times. I changed the date 3 times. And throughout the entire time that I was prepping, I didn't do a single mock. So that just shows you how much of a, I guess, bad mindset I was in last year. I mean, if I'm going to be a little bit fair to myself, I will say that the time that I was taking my UK CAT exam had very unfortunately fallen in the exact time when my master's thesis was due. So not only was I doing like 8, 10, 12-hour days in the lab, I was also in the background just constantly stressing about UK CAT. So if I'm going to be fair to myself, I will contribute some of my lack of effort, I should say, to that. But still, I'll put my hand up and say that I definitely didn't do as much as I should have. And I did bad, guys. I think I got something like 600, which is definitely not a competitive score for normal medicine, and it's absolutely not a competitive score for postgraduate medicine. So that was last year. This year I've been trying to do things a little bit different and to kind of come up with a strategy and come up with more of a plan on how I'm going to tackle this and like chew through the fat. And you know, I I was thinking this to myself before filming this video. I was thinking I could put in all of this work and all this effort and I could still come out with a score of 600. You never know. But if that happens, then I don't know how I'm going to feel, but maybe I will think, well, at least I practiced to a satisfactory level and maybe I just am not as good at this as other people. I don't know, but that is just a real fact that I have to keep at the back of my head, begrudgingly, but nevertheless. So this year I decided to go predominantly via the medify route, and I got the, I think, 2-month package? Yeah, the 2-month subscription to the website. So 2 months before my actual exam date, I had access to this website. And when I first started, I was trying to do maybe an hour a bit, almost every day, but it ended up being maybe like 3 to 5 times a week, depending on what my week was like. But the thing is, because I started 2 months earlier, I had a little bit of a panic because I was thinking, oh my god, like I'm going through the questions really quickly, and I'm worried that by the time that the exam has come closer, I have blasted through all of this and I don't have the benefit of it as much because I practiced it so long ago. And that is something I've heard a lot of people talk about, where they say that they started practicing for the UKCAT really early, and so they peaked early, as in their optimum performance based on the practice they've done was a lot sooner than the actual exam. And because of that, I decided to kind of slow down a little bit on medify and pick this thing up again and try and have a go at some of the more challenging questions and not time myself, and you know, kind of just become familiar with some more content. And again, admittedly, after the first few weeks of trying to do an hour and a bit every couple of days a week, I stopped for I think around 3 weeks. I haven't done any in 3 weeks. But now I'm at the point where it is exactly 3 weeks until my exam. And I thought that this would be a really good time to kind of pick up UKCAT again and really hit hard on the practice. And last year I was talking to a friend of a friend who was studying postgraduate medicine at King's College London, and what she said to me was that 2 weeks is a really good amount of time to do a lot of practice, kind of like routine practice and like everyday practice before the exam. Now I've decided to go for 3 weeks because I just feel like that extra week could be a little bit more useful. But I realised that different people are different. You know, some people might genuinely need like a 4-month practice period, which is why medify offers a 4-month subscription, a 2-month subscription, and I think a 2-week subscription, something along those lines. So yeah, I am kind of like dreading but also preparing for the next 3 weeks of UKCAT PTSD and just like general everyday anxiety. But I'm hoping that that will kind of help to boost my confidence a little bit and make me feel a bit more prepared than I did last year. And I'm not sure when this video is going to go up in relation to when my actual exam is, but I have decided that I am going to film little clips every time I get out my UKCAT stuff to prepare and kind of make a little log of it. For, well, A, to kind of motivate myself and maybe later on share it with you guys so I can motivate you guys as well, but also to keep myself accountable. Knowing that I will have to share it with you guys in the future might make me more likely to actually do it, because I know that if I mess up, then it's going to be for everybody to see. So please do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, my lovelies, and let me know down below if you guys have any other suggestions or methods for practicing for the UKCAT. I know a bunch of people have talked about doing crash courses, and you know, some people say that it's really useful, some people say that, you know, it's not that useful. So if you guys have been to any of these and, you know, think they are good, let me know down below. Or just generally share your experiences with me, because I would love to know. And also, if you are sitting the exam yourself and you're a little bit terrified, don't worry, I'm also a little bit terrified. I'm a little lot terrified actually, especially because if you are in my position, or if you have been in my position, you would know that so much is at stake here, and that's what freaks me out. I mean, I've worked my butt off in my undergraduate degree, I've worked so hard in my master's degree, I'm working so hard to balance my job and work experience and shadowing and doing volunteer work in a community and keeping up my extracurriculars, and I think it's just a little bit daunting to think that like a little exam like this could mean that none of those are as relevant, if you know what I mean. But all I can say is that if you are also applying, I wish you the best, the very best of luck, because I know what it's like, and I hope that you are doing well wherever in the medical journey that you may be in. So please do subscribe if you aren't already to keep up, and also press the little bell icon to get a notification every time I upload. I hope you are all having an amazing day, and until next time, take care, and I'll see you later.